Hey, it's Emily Williams, Desires Coach and Money Mindset Expert. And today I want to talk to you all about reinvention. So if you're a female entrepreneur and you have a business that you're running and maybe you feel like you're at a crossroads, things aren't working like you'd like them to work, or maybe things are working really well, but you're not feeling aligned or excited about the work that you're doing in the world, this video is for you. So I run a peer mastermind. It's under my brand To Be Ambitious. And this is basically where I connect amazing female founders and give them the community that they're craving. And within this peer mastermind, we have lots of conversations about reinvention because the truth is life is so different to even just a few years ago, especially if you're an entrepreneur in the online space. Things have shifted, they've changed, and we've had to adjust accordingly. And the theme of our group is also women who want to do work that they're lit up by. And so sometimes we get to this place where we've been grinding, we've been doing all the things, we've built the business, and we wake up one day and realize, actually, this is not what I want, or this doesn't make me happy. And so maybe you resonate with all of that. I definitely have been through my own reinvention over the last few years. And the truth is that there was a point where about 5 years ago, I knew that something was off, but it took time for me to gain the gumption to make some big changes. So that's what today's video is all about. So recently I was talking to one of my colleagues about her own reinvention, and she said after 9 months, the fog was finally lifted and she was starting to feel more like herself, get more clarity, and she was ready to start taking action. And as I was listening to her, I was so excited for her. I was happy for her. And as she expressed to me the action that she was going to be taking, red flags were everywhere for me, because the truth is she was just going to be doing more of the same. And I fell into that same pattern a few years ago when I had this big realization that things needed to change, but I was too scared to really make a change. And so I told myself, if I just tweak things here and there, that will shift it. That will take things in a different direction. But it wasn't big enough to take it in a different direction. And I truly, when I'm looking back, was operating from a place of fear. What will people think? What will happen to my revenue? What will happen to this business? Will they think I'm crazy? Can I actually do this? Should I just do more of the same? And all of that is so valid, because if you're running your own business, your life is literally on the line in so many ways. Maybe you're supporting your family, maybe you're supporting a team member, multiple team members, maybe you have an audience, maybe you have followers, and there's so much that comes up when you think about making a change. So today I want to share some of the questions that I asked myself during that time and that I'd recommend you dig into in order to really get clear around what it is you actually want. And if the truth is that you want to make a big change, just know that that's possible for you. I had another recent conversation with a colleague who had a $2 million a year business. She had 20 employees. She literally turned it off like that. She had been in and out of the hospital. She was stressed. She was unhappy. She didn't like doing the work that she was doing. And she knew she only had one life to live and she was going to make the most of it. So she shut it all down and has rebuilt something completely different, something that actually brings her joy. And she literally told me that she now has her dream business, her dream life. She has team members, but they're contractors. They're not employees. So she's kept it small. Although she's not back up to that $2 million a year yet, she has a way more profitable business. And again, she's happy. And so I share that story because that's what's possible for all of us. We can make a different decision. And I'm not saying we need to burn the thing into the ground. That might not be the right decision for you. But I am saying be brave enough to evaluate what the right thing is for you, what the right next step is, and what it is that you actually want. So here's how we do that. Here's some questions I recommend you ask yourself literally right away today. You can grab a journal or you can just do it in your head, but I recommend that you pause this video and answer these questions. Are you doing things the way you want to do them? Are you working with clients in a way that fulfills you? Are you charging rates that feel aligned? Are you spending your time in a way that lights you up? Are you tapping into your greatest gifts? Are you making decisions that are true to you? Are you in alignment with your natural or desired way of doing life? Or are you just doing more of the same and hoping for a different result? Now, all these questions stem from me reading this beautiful book. It's called The Creative Act, A Way of Being. And one of the things that the author talks about is you just being true to yourself and how creativity is going to bring about that trueness when you're really tapped into the things that you want and what is authentically you. So he writes, look around you. There are so many remarkable accomplishments to appreciate. Each one of these is humanity being true to itself, as a hummingbird is true to itself by building a nest, a peach tree by bearing fruit, and a nimbus cloud by producing rain. So the part that really stood out to me is, are you being true to yourself? And that was something I had to ask myself time and time again during that dark period, during that period of reinvention. What would me being true to myself actually look like? So I encourage you to ask yourself that question as well right now. Before you go any further, make sure you check out my Dream Life Guide using the link below. This is 20 pages of my unique methodology supporting you in uncovering exactly what you want, busting through your limiting beliefs and blocks, and putting the action steps in place to get the life that you are craving. Plus, I've also included a private podcast feed, so check it out. The second thing I would look at is just be honest with yourself. Are you one of those people that can continue to do something that's no longer aligned just because you want to see it out or for the money? And if so, that's totally cool. That's great to know that about yourself. And I would make sure that you're building the thing you want to build, that you actually love, the thing you're aligned with in the background. So start moving forward with that process and keep the other thing going simultaneously. Now, that might be a good decision if financially you're not ready to jump ship and you can't just turn something off. Maybe you have a mortgage, maybe you have kids, maybe you have team members, totally get it. Or maybe you want to continue with that business and sell it. Give it to somebody else, whatever it is that you want to do. Maybe it's not something you want to burn into the ground. I get that too. So know which camp you fall in. Are you the person who wants to continue the thing and build the other thing simultaneously? Or on the flip side, are you the person who needs to shut it down, burn it to the ground, and do things differently? So one of my colleagues, the one I mentioned earlier, who did burn it to the ground, she said she spent a lot of time actually thinking about what she could have done differently in that moment instead of just shutting it down and turning it all off. And I asked her, okay, so you have this plan, you have this vision of what you could have done. Do you wish you would have done it that way? And she said, no, absolutely not. There was never another path for her in that moment. She couldn't see it at the time. And even if she went back and had to do it all over again, she would have still shut everything down. And maybe that's true for you as well. So I would explore both options and just know that each of them are available for you. And you have to know yourself. You have to know your capacity. You have to know your financial situation at the moment. And of course, if you don't know the answer to these questions, that's why you can work with someone like me so you can get clearer. You can get that information that you are craving and you can bring your true desires, your true self, everything you want to the surface. And believe me, I know how that feels. I'm the person who can't continue to do something if it's not aligned. And I know how scary it is to wonder how you're going to pay for your life, how you're going to impact the world in the way that you want to impact the world, how you're going to get the results that you're craving, how it's all going to work out, how it's going to be perceived. But I also know that your heart has your truth. And when you follow that, amazing things open up. In a conversation with another colleague who had literally started over and started from scratch, she said something similar. And she told me, I needed time just to do life and figure out what I truly desired. And the clarity has led to incredible action and momentum that I haven't felt in years. And finally, the third thing I want to mention is that you don't have to bring every single desire, every single thing that you think about to fruition. There's this amazing concept in Elizabeth Gilbert's book called Big Magic, where she talks about how even if you have an idea and it's not right for you, that's okay. You don't need to take it on. You can let it go because someone else will find it. Someone else will adopt it as their own, and they can be the ones to bring it to life. So just be clear about what it is you actually want to do. What do you want to monetize? What is your vision in the world? What do you want to be known for? And follow that full speed ahead, letting go of the other stuff when the time is right. Maybe for you, that's immediately. Maybe for you, that's in 3 years after you sell it. But get clear on what it is that you actually want and start to take steps in that direction literally today. You can do that simultaneously. You can do that on its own. You get to decide. I hope this is helpful, and I hope this is a reminder that anything you desire is meant for you and possible. And if you are in a place of indecision or a crossroads or feeling like you're reinventing yourself, just know that you will make it through. Clarity is there and available for you, and everything you want is on the other side. I'll see you next time.